A lot of us deal with some type of food issue, and most aren't life-threatening. But what if you're allergic to certain foods? How do you know the difference between an intolerance and an allergy, a potential life-threatening allergy? Dr. Stacy Chronister is an internal medicine specialist with OSU Medicine. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, just kind of setting up food allergies before we get to the intolerance side of things. What are some common food allergies?
Absolutely. You can be allergic to anything, but probably the ones that we're really talking about that can be the most life-threatening are going to be nuts, peanuts, milk, dairy, eggs, and seafood are kind of our big hitters for those that have to carry the EpiPen and stuff around.
What do people need to be aware of when it comes to food allergies?
I'm sorry, one more time.
What do people need to be aware of when it comes to food allergies?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things about food allergies is just how common they are. And so if you have somebody who you think may have a food allergy, or you yourself have had one, and you kind of think, oh, maybe I've had an allergy, I'm not so sure. Just know you really should avoid that food until you talk to a medical provider. The first thing that people usually notice are hives or itchiness on their body. It's almost across the board that people have that. Other things that happen very quickly are swelling of the lips, tongue, maybe of the throat. Maybe they feel like they have something stuck in their throat, or they're having a hard time swallowing. But it can really affect the gut as well. So if you have some bloating afterwards, nausea, vomiting, cramping, diarrhea, but even the lungs, maybe wheezing, and even getting lightheaded are all signs of potential anaphylaxis.
So we want to talk about the difference too between food allergies and food intolerance. Tell us, let's go there.
When we talk about allergies, we are talking about someone whose body is attacking their system after they ingest it. And the problem is that this can be life-threatening, as opposed to somebody who just doesn't really tolerate a food very well. So maybe you get indigestion after you have spaghetti, or maybe you have some unpleasant GI side effects after you have milk because of a lactose intolerance. That is more of an intolerance, and maybe you choose to avoid that food. Migraine headaches are a common one for people with maybe drinking red wine or caffeine products. So that's what we could determine to be a intolerance, and it is not medically significant, and certainly not something that we want to bring up when we're talking about allergies.
You know, Stacy, Dr. Chronister, we have a graphic here describing some of those symptoms you were talking about of the food allergies, the life-threatening allergies. But what I thought as you're looking at this graphic at home is that it can be such a range, what you were talking about. It can be one thing one time and something totally different the next time you have a reaction.
Absolutely, and that's why food allergies can actually be very scary, because you think, okay, well, he did have that food one time and he got a little rash, or he got a little itchy or a little fussy after it, or maybe, hey, I got a little headache after that. You know, but then the next time that you have that food, it might not be so benign. You might not just have hives the next time. You might just not have swelling of the tongue. You might actually have full-blown anaphylaxis the next time you encounter that food. So it is very important that if you are concerned that an allergy exists, that you are avoidant of that until you know for sure.
What should we do if we see someone having an allergic reaction? And I did find some EpiPens here so I can show folks at home.
Oh, wonderful. Yes. So if you know somebody has an allergy, or you're concerned that they have one, a lot of people have it on their wristband. They might have something saying that they have a severe allergy, but start digging through. It might be in their pocket. It might be in a purse, or just see if someone nearby you has an EpiPen, because you even have one right there at work. They're actually quite accessible in most locations. But even if you've never seen an EpiPen, and I use that generally, there's a lot of different name brands that might be out there, but most of us know that name. Don't be afraid to use it. They are very simple to understand. It kind of has one big red end or big yellow end that looks like this one goes into the patient. Just because you've never seen it administered before, please don't hesitate to do that. You cause no harm to that patient. You can only potentially save their life.
Yeah, and this one here has instructions. It has pictures. It pierces your clothing. It is super easy to understand. One more thing in the age of TikTok and Instagram medicine, blood tests. Let's talk about blood tests. Do blood tests work for allergies?
No, it depends on what we're talking about. When we're talking about food allergies, no, it's not a good, reliable test. And in a lot of allergies, I would not say that anyone should rely on a lot of those blood tests, especially the ones that come as panels. That just kind of says that you've been exposed to it. You might have some allergens to that, but it doesn't mean that you actually have a reaction. So those are unreliable and can be very misleading for people avoiding much of life when they may not have reactions.
Dr. Stacy Chronister, thank you so much for this enlightening conversation, and we'll talk to you again next month.
Thank you.